The Cinema Channel presents the top 5 animals that can continue to live for quite a while after their death, as paradoxical as it may sound. Moreover, some of these deceased creatures are capable of even attacking and potentially killing you. We bring to your attention the 5 animals that remain active after death. Let's start with snakes. Some species among them can easily kill you even after you've decapitated them. For example, watch this video where a guy decapitates a rattlesnake with a shovel, and it continues to move around and wait to strike even in that state. A snake is capable of biting and injecting a deadly dose of venom up to an hour after its head has been severed, so we're dealing with a real zombie here. Look at these frames. The severed snake's head is biting its former body, which continues to move after death. It's unclear who we're dealing with here, whether it's a masochist or a sadist, seeming to love its body and yet not quite having it anymore. In 2016 in Tennessee, a severed head of a rattlesnake bit a firefighter who was relaxing outdoors with his family. The young man had simply intended to dispose of the head of a snake he had just killed and did not expect that, even without its body, it could still bite him and inject venom after the bite. The firefighter felt his lips and throat swelling as he took a few more steps, lost consciousness, and fell, hitting his head on a rock. It took rescuers over an hour to reach him, carry him out of the woods, and then transport him to the hospital by helicopter. Fortunately, though barely, they were able to save him. However, Chef Peng Fan from the southern Chinese province of Guangdong was not as lucky. Once, while preparing a special dish made from an Indo-Chinese collared cobra, considered a rare and exquisite delicacy, in his restaurant, he intended to discard the snake's severed head into a trash bin, only for the head to suddenly bite him on the hand, injecting its deadly neurotoxic venom. The poor chef perished before the ambulance arrived, thus the snake managed to exact revenge after its death for being killed. Truly incredible. Well, this is truly something out of science fiction. In this video, the snake is actually eating itself. Such cases surprisingly occur quite often, but the question remains, what drives a snake to initiate self-destruction? It turns out, it's all about the sense of smell. The snake wholeheartedly trusts its sense of smell, which sometimes misleads it greatly. When food-scented particles land on the reptile's tail, it might mistake its own body for prey and immediately attack it. Countless snakes have perished in this absurd manner. For instance, in this video, the reptile's tail emitted the scent of an animal it had recently fed on, leading the venomous predator to bite itself, and chaos ensued. The next animal that can easily kill you even after its death is an octopus. In Korea and Japan, there are gourmets who enjoy eating various raw mollusks, among which octopuses pose the greatest danger because their tentacles continue to move after being severed, leading to various mishaps. The dish is prepared as follows. The octopus is seasoned with sesame oil and sesame seeds, then sliced into pieces and served on the table. However, the animal's suckers can contract for up to 3 hours after being severed. Unlike our hand, which is controlled by our brain, an octopus's tentacle movements are controlled by the tentacles themselves. More than half of the octopus's central nervous system neurons are located in its limbs. Therefore, consuming even one tentacle of this mollusk can easily block the airway, leading to fatalities. Several people have already died due to this absurdity. Yet, some particularly adventurous gourmets prefer to eat a live octopus whole, greatly increasing the risk of death exponentially. Often such antics are indulged in by unprepared tourists who are always eager to try anything and everything, sometimes resulting in very tragic consequences. And here's the amazing Japanese dish, the dancing squid. Initially, the mollusk sits quietly, but when you pour sauce over it, it starts twitching its tentacles. In reality, this is not actually an octopus. It's a squid, and it's long been dead. The secret is that when it's doused with soy sauce, the sodium within it undergoes a chemical reaction with the cells of the sea creature, releasing free ions that tickle the nerve endings of the tentacles, causing the squid to dance. Eating squid can be just as dangerous as eating octopus. In 2012, at a restaurant in South Korea, a bizarre and frightening incident occurred. A woman was eating a partially cooked squid when suddenly the animal revived and began inseminating the unfortunate diner's mouth. The squid injected a considerable amount of sperm into her before she could spit it out. The woman had to be hospitalized as a result. And here we have the heart of a turtle, which is capable of beating for a long time even after it has been removed. Reptiles, fish, birds, and mammals each have their own cardiac pacemaker cells that take over when signals from the brainstem are absent, allowing the heart to function for a period of time. Turtles are particularly resilient in this regard. Frogs also exhibit incredible resilience after death. When decapitated, a frog can behave quite similarly to one with its head intact for a considerable duration. The initial factor enabling frogs to exhibit zombie-like abilities is a reflex response that triggers necessary electrical impulses, allowing muscles to stretch and contract. These responses bypass the brain, differing from the tickle response in humans. So, for humans without a head, their body won't be able to move. Our behavior is completely dependent on the brain, and compared to frogs, we are quite complex anatomically. Then there are insects that can live after death. For certain species of cockroaches, if you remove their heads, they can survive for a couple more weeks before dying of hunger. Similarly, female fruit flies have this ability too. If you remove their heads, they can live for several more days. What's most astonishing is that without their heads, they can maintain a better vertical position compared to regular flies, and can perform complex actions like flying or walking. But what's even more astonishing is that males court decapitated females, who in turn perceive suitors as foreign stimuli. That's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. We have plenty more interesting content coming up.